So when the person that goes over the details of a rifle to you happens to be an ex-Ranger sniper instructor, you know that rifle has something going for it. Check out the Seekins Havak Element. All right, but before I get into this beauty of a gun, I first gotta thank the people that put it in my hands, Italian Sporting Goods. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate the opportunity that you guys have presented to me to be able to shoot this amazing, beautiful gun. As far as I know, these are the Italian's the only company that you can buy these bad boys in Canada so far. I could be wrong, but as far as I know, that is correct. I also wanted to do a big shout out to all the range officers and everybody at the Port Coquitlam Gun and Fishing Club, Fishing and Hunting Club, also known as the Gun Club, up there in Burke Mountain. I really appreciate the opportunity to film there and all the stuff that you guys do for us. Thanks again. But I digress, let's get into this bad boy. So, as I mentioned, the gentleman that kind of told me, I guess he's an unofficial representative of them or shoots these firearms himself, he's the one that kind of gave me the whole rundown on this. And this really is a pretty awesome machine. So, or firearm, I should say. It's not so much a machine. The lens that I have on it, the scope that I got on it, just says, to throw it out there, is another, of course, Swaro Z8i. It's a 2.3 by 18 by 56. Amazingly beautiful scope. Clearest glass you can pretty much get out there. I definitely highly recommend taking a look at one of these down the line if you got the budget for it. Obviously, like anything good, they're not cheap, but they're pretty awesome. But let's kind of get into the company a little bit, and then we'll kind of get into the gun. So Seekins is a relatively newer company. I've never heard of them until I actually saw this firearm, mainly because they're not really imported here much. They're heavily in the AR platforms and so on and so forth, and they've kind of moved into a lot of the precision side. They pretty much make everything themselves. So they're not, you can get custom firearms for them. These are what we like to call kind of like semi-custom. So they are sort of on a production line per se, but every single gun is taken care of by an individual person as far as I've been told. So anyways, let's go over it a little bit from front to back because that's how we like it. So let's start from the front here. Obviously, these come with threaded barrels as well. In Canada, you can't put anything really cool on it, but something that I would recommend, it works really well on this firearm, is this guy right here, the brake. It's an ATC brake. It's obviously nicely painted to match. It's got the Seekins logo on it. It really did mitigate. I mean, this is not a big 6.5 Creedmoor. It's not a really big kicking caliber per se, but it does allow you to come up with that follow-up shot really quickly. Coming off the muzzle brake, which works, like I said, really well, you have the tri-roll barrel. This is in the 21-inch barrel because it's the short action. It's obviously a 6.5 Creedmoor. It's 100% free floating. And we'll talk about the stock in a second, but it runs on a really cool carbon fiber molded stock. There are two different type of actions that it comes with. You can get fully customized, like I mentioned before, but this particular one comes in either in the 6.5 Creedmoor in the short action. There's a couple others in short action. Long action, 28 Nosler, 6.5 PRC, 300 Win Mag, as well as 7mm Remington Win Mag, and those are going to come in the 22-inch barrels, so a little bit different. When we come off the barrels, and like I said, you can get fully customized versions of this too, where you can run the flutes, but I really like the look of this this tri-roll. It looks really cool. When we get to the action, this is probably one of the things that separates, you know, Seekin from a lot of the other ones that I've seen, because they've kind of worked with that AR platforms and such. They kind of get the fact that of how to build something that's strong but yet light. So it's a fully aluminum action. It's their own design, so it's not a direct ripoff of Remington or Seiko or any of those. It's got a 70-degree bolt throw, which is really nice, smooth. Obviously, one of the coolest things about it is because it's aluminum. I mean, this particular gun itself weighs 5.5 pounds. The long actions are about 6 pounds, so incredibly light. But the problem is when you're gonna get something incredibly light, you're gonna lose a lot of that stiffness, right? So what they've done is they've have stainless steel sleeves inside of it to not only to be able to withstand a lot of the pressures, but keep that stiffness in place. It's actually tested, if I remember reading it right, to 170,000 PSI. And with that pressures, obviously you need a great bolt. The bolt is a 6-lug bolt design, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's all pretty sweet in how it feels, how it moves, and the action in and of itself. The cool thing too is everything's pretty integrated. You don't have to drill and tap anything. They already have, you know, your Picatinny rails up there. That's all included. It even has like beveled this little level inside of it. I don't know if you can see that, but that's included inside the actual system in and of itself. It's not something you have to add on or anything like that, which makes it just really easy to use. All you got to do is get a set of scope rings, bolt that baby on, and you're ready to rock. So the next part, I mean, obviously we're talking about this, the design, and I was asking him, like, is this a Macmillan? Is this like, you know, who created this stock? And really, it's their own design in and of itself. So a couple things that I really liked when I was shooting it. Obviously, this particular guy's, like I said, it's about 5.5 pounds, but I wouldn't say it's as soft to the touch as maybe like the Seikos that we've done, the Carbon Light and before, but it still feels really good. A lot of texture to it. So you can see there was a lot of thought on the ergonomics of how this rifle would sit in eye positioning in comparison. Like how it shoulders is fantastic. But the other thing that's really cool about it is just how everything is leveled, that when I had this on a bag, or let's say you're up in the mountain, right? And you're gonna go into a prone position and you're resting it on the bag. It also has almost like that little bit of that bench feel, that bench rifle or stock type feel to it. That being said as well, it also has some QD built-in QD release sling points, which is really cool. I haven't really seen that on very many rifles lately, to be, well, non-AR rifles anyways. It obviously has another sling adapter too, which you can put any of your bipods or tripods or whatever you're gonna be, I guess you wouldn't be using a tripod, bipod or any accessory that you'd wanna use off that point. So it's really well thought out. The ergonomics, my dad's gonna laugh at me because I said this in half my videos, but because I do have bigger hands, right? I find that I kind of over grip. This just how it fits into my palm, you know, that pistol grip, yet, yeah, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. It just, I can't wrap my whole hand around it, so I don't feel like I'm over twisting or torquing. I just feel like it's a good combination of that pistol grip, yet at the same time as that flat bench style feeling shooting. So obviously it's been designed or been helped by design by shooting professionals, guys that shoot a million times better than I do. And I'm sure that's been the takeaway. A couple other cool things. So carbon fiber magazines. The magazine release on these things is pretty cool. It's actually built in right into the trigger guard here. Just pops out. Oh, just pops out. There we go. Which is really cool. I like how they've done that. The trigger itself, they come at about 2.5 pounds. We're gonna just check that out. But I guess that's one of the things they don't manufacture, but they've chosen probably one of the best manufacturers out there. So it's a Timney Elite Hunter series, and they come roughly at about 2.5 pounds, I was told. So let's take a look at it for myself. But first, like we always do, we cleared it. Everybody saw that. Let's feel. Yeah, so zero creep. It's like that military action. There's no creep, no pull. It's just straight wall and bam. I also like that it's grooved. Myself, I like these fatter triggers. It's not the thin, narrow ones. There's no blade or anything like that attached to it. It's just cups your finger, any kind of direction that you're sitting. Yeah, it's really nice. So I'm gonna guess, it says it comes with 2.5. I'm gonna guess it is 2.5. Let's do one more time. Let's test it with this bad boy. Whoop, whoop. Juggling. Yeah, this one said 3. Yeah, 2.5 on that one. Yeah, so you're looking at right around 2.5 to 3 pounds. It is adjustable triggers, so you can definitely bring it down, but like that's what they come from stock, so I wouldn't suggest anything different. So if you saw when I was shooting this gun, like, is this a firearm I look at getting? Well, A, for the price point, if you compare it to a lot of other 1,000-yard guns right out of the box, they're pretty, I watch out what I say, not inexpensive, but definitely worth the dollar figure. You're up around, I've seen some on their sites in the States, $2,800, $3,800 type deal. Up here in Canada, obviously you got to double it because importation, so on and so forth, and our currency. But for what you're getting out of the box, when you compare it to a lot of those other 1,000-yard range guns out of the box that are $10,000, $12,000 packages plus, right? I feel like you're getting a lot for this rifle. It feels really good. I know the people that have designed it and are behind it actually have military service and will shoot a million times better than I ever will in my life. And I can appreciate that 100%. So I think if you're looking for something, especially in that sheep hunting, but you want to be able to extend that range, you want to get in a 300 Win, 7 mil, or perhaps a new 28 Nosler or newer 28 Nosler, and you want to look at maybe an elk rifle, something that you can extend to that 1,000 yards plus, but still have some weight savings like this, 5.5, 6 pounds is really light. I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. Go by Italian Sporting if you're in this area, if you're down in the States, reach out to them, get this in your hand to feel it because it really is something different. If you guys see the shooting that I did today, I sighted this gun in from nothing right off the hop, and we didn't really get the chance to stretch it out. We're only doing 100 and 200 yard, 100 meter and 200 meter shooting in it. All right, so here's two different ammunitions that I've been plugging through. So the first one, it's about an inch MOA here. I did shoot it a little bit quicker, to be honest, so this is probably tightens up. But this guy right here is with the Hornady. It liked it, but you can tell that every gun likes different ammunition differently. Right here, the Nosler, we got 3 rounds, basically in one hole. So just to give you guys a little bit of idea, I always recommend whenever you sight your rifle in, buy a box of 3-4 different types of ammunition, if you're gonna be not hand loading, I should say, and find the ammunition that your gun likes. There's so much great ammos out there, and this 6.5 in the Hornady and another 6.5 Creedmoor, it shot amazing. In this particular gun, it really likes that Nosler. Like this is a shooter, without a doubt. And this is also something I feel that's going to last a long time, and it'll be a heritage piece that you can pass down. So anyways, that's all I got time for you guys to talk about today. Thank you so much for being a part of the Modern Caveman, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.